Hey everyone, Sparks back with another Goddess Victory Nikke video, and this is something that I wanted to cover as soon as the last update dropped, but there was just so much going on. There was all the new anniversary content, and also the new launch of Stellar Blade. There were just so many videos to make that I didn't get to it until now, but this is a really important change that could be dramatically affecting your damage, and it's different from how the game used to work, and it came in kind of subtly. So, let's go into the lobby here and check out the notice that we got when the update for 1.5 originally dropped. Now, this was mentioned in a developer note a while back that this was coming, but then the actual update kind of snuck in kind of quietly. So I think a lot of people may have just ignored it because of all the hype of Anniversary. But let's go ahead and read this really quick. A charge burst feature that provides an additional burst gauge will be introduced for the main onlooking nikke with a sniper rifle or rocket launcher weapon. Okay, so this is referring to the nikke that you are looking at, your POV. So for that single unit, if it is using a rocket launcher or a sniper, this update will apply. It says 1. The burst gauge charge amount will increase with the charge time. 2. There will be a dedicated charge burst UI showing the charge rate. 3. The increased charge burst rate is equal to the charge damage rate of each nikke, and it gives some examples of that, such as Alice 100 to 350, Laplace 100 to 250, so depending on how much they're charging. And then 4, just like charge damage, charge burst is affected by changes in charge speed. 5, the charge burst rate is not affected by changes in charge damage. And then 6, this feature is not applicable to PvP battles. Well, obviously, because you don't have any one unit POV in Arena. And then 7, these features will not be applicable to nikkes with special charge things such as Snow White, because she changes her weapon, so that's just going to function how it always did. All right, so what did all of this mean? Because that was a lot of words and things. It's actually pretty simple when we take a look at it. So I went and did some tests just to demonstrate what this was, how this actually works. So this is going to apply to a rocket launcher or sniper. So I'm going to be using Senti here because Senti is underappreciated and she used to be one of my main girls. So we're going to give her some time in the spotlight now. But what I did is I recorded some different ways of using rocket launchers, and this again would also apply to snipers, same thing here. And I did 5 different tests, so different variations of controlling the nikkes, either auto or manual, looking at them or not. And let's take a look at what the results were. I put this into Premiere and I was able to get it down to the exact time that it took to reach a full burst gauge, down to the 100th of a second, so I can see it frame by frame. So we'll see exactly how long these different methods take. So the first test here is using auto but not controlling that nikke. So I'm controlling Modernia here, but I'm not shooting with her. This is just so we can let Senti do her thing on the side completely in auto, and we don't have her POV, so she won't be getting that extra little burst gauge bonus that it talked about in the update. And I'll show a zoomed in picture of this in a little bit later so you can actually visually see if you missed it in the beginning clip. But you can see she's going through a lot of shots here. This took quite a while to finally reach full burst gauge. So this took her a total of 14 shots, and more importantly, it took her 23.98 seconds, okay? So this was by far the slowest time. It took it the longest to reach full burst, okay? Now, for the second test, I did auto, but actually controlling her, okay? So the exact same thing, she's gonna be shooting automatically, but we're just going to be looking at Senti this time instead of looking at another unit, okay? Now notice the little green number down there. That is the burst gauge, the new burst gauge, like multiplier, I guess you could call it, that's showing up, okay? And this took a dramatically shorter amount of time to reach full burst, okay? Nothing changed other than that we were looking at Senti. Okay, and this time she did it in a total of only 6 shots, and more importantly, it took her only 8.72 seconds. Okay, so this was a third of the time, okay? This is way, way faster just by looking at the nikke. So that's that bonus that it's talking about. When you're looking at a unit that is controlling either a rocket launcher or a sniper, they're going to get this burst gauge bonus, okay? So now I wanted to see how would this affect if I was manually doing it, okay? So now I'm going to manually control her, but do full charges still, but the difference is I'm actually controlling the firing, okay? Now, I am playing on mobile, okay, so I might as well be playing with my toes. You could probably do this a lot more efficiently if you were doing it on PC, but that's just how I game, okay? So this could probably be more optimized, but I ended up being 1.3 seconds slower getting to full burst, but it still took the same 6 shots doing it manually, okay? All right, so now on the third try here, sorry, the third try. Is this? Yes, this is the third test. Now I'm going to be doing it, sorry, this is the fourth test. All right, my bad. I'm going to be doing it manually here, but we're going to be quick charging, okay? So this is traditionally what we always wanted to be doing in the past, right? You switch over to your rocket launcher and you just fire, 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 and you fill that burst gauge quickly, right? Well, do we still get a big benefit from doing that under the new rules? So I'm firing as fast as I can, but I am manually doing it, okay? So there's no auto-targeting or anything like that. And this ended up taking a total of 13 shots, and it took 12.18 seconds, okay? So this is probably the slowest method of doing this so far, right? Well, the second slowest, aside from the very first one we did that was just like mammothly slow, right? Okay, so this is still half the time of that, but this is slower than any of the other methods that we did. So now for the last test, I'm going to do auto-targeting, but I'm going to do manually quick charging, okay? So let's go ahead and see what the results of that was. And in this case, it took 12 shots, but it took 8.05 seconds. And this was the fastest method that we did, okay? But very, very similar. The second fastest was just auto looking at it without doing anything, letting her full charge do her thing. That took 8.72 seconds. This took 8.05 seconds, okay? So, is it worth it to still quick charge? Yes, but barely. Is it worth it to look at a nikke that is using a rocket launcher or sniper rifle? 100%. This makes a massive difference, okay? So if you're somebody that normally likes to just manually control Modernia, that is not what you want to be doing. You always want to be looking at the rocket launcher. Now, there are some advantages to manually controlling nikkes directly, such as like accurate core shots or getting the right angle to hit multiple parts at the same time. That's kind of out of the scope of this video. But if we're talking about just purely getting burst damage, the biggest factor is looking at the nikke that you want to be building that burst damage. So your highest, burst generating unit, your rocket launcher, okay? And then you can get very marginally quicker by doing fast charging. Now, does this do kind of what I think they're trying to do? It says like to reduce fatigue or de-incentivize using macros. Kinda, maybe, so like when I was doing the manual full charge, I was slow. I could have definitely been more efficient with that with a macro, so I could probably be slightly more efficient with that on the quick charging too. So, there's probably still a very fine advantage for people that are cheating out there, but I think this is definitely making a much more level playing field, and the big takeaway for most people is just look at the nikke that you are using a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle. This is going to give you dramatically more burst because of that new second green gauge, okay? And if you want to manually control them, great. If not, you're still getting a huge benefit. So mostly just remember to POV that rocket launcher. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. Like I said, I wanted to get this out sooner, but there were just like so many other videos that I needed to make. Yeah, let me know if you have any further questions, And let me know if you have also already been doing this or not. This is really, really important. Solo raid is coming up, and this could make a really big difference in the amount of damage and the ranking that you're able to get. All right, I will catch you guys in the next video or stream. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I will catch you guys on stream.